improve your concept about the heat and temperature in terms of kinetic theory. Okay, kinetic energy. It is heat is the cause of change in energy. Sorry, change in temperature. It is the cause. By using heat, temperature increases. Yes. By gaining heat, temperature increases. By losing heat, temperature decreases. So heat is the cause of change in temperature. Understood? Very clear? Heat is the cause of change in temperature. It is the reason, karan. Okay? And in opposite, what happens in temperature? Temperature is the effect of heat. Effect of change in heat. If it is heated, its temperature increases. What happens in the effect? Temperature changes. Okay? Heat is supplied. This is the cause. And as an effect, what happens? Temperature increases. So temperature is the effect of heat. Similarly, heat is the measure of the total kinetic energy of all molecules of a body, but temperature is the measure of average kinetic energy of all molecules of a body. Next is unit. Heat is measured in terms of joule, and temperature, its SI unit is Kelvin. Kelvin, right? Reverse, turn on video. Kelvin. Heat doesn't decide its flow itself. Heat doesn't decide the direction of flow. Okay. Higher heat, lower heat does not mean that the heat flows from the high heat to the lower heat. It doesn't mean that. But temperature decides the flow of heat, direction of heat. Temperature decides the flow of heat. Means heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. Heat flows from high temperature to low temperature body. Okay. And device. Which device is used to measure heat and temperature? Calorimeter is the device used to measure the heat. Calorimeter is used to measure the heat, but thermometer is used to measure the temperature. Thermometer is used to measure the temperature. Away. Look at here on a screen in camera. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Name the device which is used to measure the temperature.
Kelvin.
Hey Babu, के गर्दैछौ तिमीले? What I am asking you, device. Kelvin is the unit. I am telling you device, which instrument is used to measure the temperature. Do you know? Have you ever suffered from, what do you mean that, fever?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then which device is used to measure the temperature of your body?
Thermometer.
Thermometer. Yes, it is obvious. You have practiced in your daily life. You said then Kelvin, why? Yes, thermometer is used to measure the temperature of body. Then, tell me which device is used to measure the heat, amount of heat of a body? Dev.
Calometer.
Calorimeter. Calometer, not calometer. Calorimeter, okay? Calorimeter. Riwaz, may I remove you or you will turn on your video? Okay. So, Ronisa Karki, what is SI unit of heat? I'm asking you unit. Ronisa.
Sir.
What is the SI unit of heat?
Joule.
Joule. What is the SI unit of Kelvin? Sorry. Which quantity is measured in Kelvin? Which physical quantity is measured in Kelvin? Ronisa?
Sir. Question.
Which physical quantity is measured in terms of Kelvin? For example, okay, you know, the physical quantity heat is measured in terms of joule. Similarly, which physical quantity is measured in terms of Kelvin? She is not here. She has gone. Yes, gone. Hey, yes, she is here. Yes. Ronisa, tell me.
Yes, sir.
It means you are not listening your teacher from the beginning. You are in something else. You are doing something else. Yes. What are you doing now?
Sir, no.
No.
Sir, no.
म त
Sir,
भनिरहेको छु
no. I
तपाईँलाई
was
सुरुदेखि भनिरहेको छु त. The SI unit of temperature is
Kelvin.
Kelvin. SI unit of heat is
Joule.
Joule. The device which is used to measure the temperature is?
Calorimeter.
The device which is used to measure the heat is?
Thermometer.
Yes. You just said
Yes, sir.
opposite.
No,
Okay?
no.
You see there, be clear, write 3 times, 2 times in your copy, then it will be in your mind. Okay? You have to love your letters, definition books. Only they will be in your mind and heart, otherwise not. Okay? If you hate letters, letters hate you. Yes or no? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. If you love letters, letters love you. Words love you. Definitions love you. Okay? So you love the definitions. Definitions love you. Okay? For every action, there is equal reaction. You should remember that. Doing hard labor, getting more marks. Okay? Doing hard labor is action. What is their reaction? Obtaining the more marks. Similarly, everywhere there is cause and effect relation. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. For example, heating the body, rising the temperature. Heating the body is cause. Rising the temperature is effect. Yes or no? Every action, for every action, there is cause, there is reaction. Reaction is effect. Okay, similarly here, more reading study hour, more greater the study hour, rise in the temperature, sorry, not temperature, rise in the marks. Okay, greater the study hour, greater the marks, and vice versa. Okay, lesser the study hour, lesser the marks. What is there? Nothing. Only cause and effect relation. Only action and reaction effect. Newton's third law. Okay, so we understood about that. Next, types of thermometer. Now we go to the next topic, types of thermometer. Yes, we studied about the thermometer. Thermometer is a device that is used to measure temperature of chemicals, temperature of our body, temperature of our atmosphere, temperature of water, temperature of ice, everywhere. Okay, that thermometer is used. Only the device used to measure the temperature is thermometer. No other devices can measure the temperature. Understood? Clear? Clear? No other devices in this universe were made. Okay, कुनै पनि device बनाइएको छैन अरु other than thermometer to measure the temperature. Okay, जुनसुकै जस्तोसुकै deviceले measure गरे पनि that temperature measure गरेको छ भने that is thermometer. There are various types of thermometer. That's good. Okay, यो चाहिँ हो. It's right. There are various types of thermometer, but the name is thermometer. Whether there is the use of alcohol or mercury, or even not alcohol, not mercury, resistors, electrical batteries. Okay, the device which is used to measure the temperature is thermometer. And now look at there, we have to study here 4 types of thermometer. One is clinical thermometer, which is used in clinics to measure our body temperature, to measure the fever. Okay, other is laboratory thermometer, which is used in laboratory to measure the temperature of chemicals. Okay, during the chemical reaction. Other is digital thermometer. Digital thermometer, nowadays digital thermometer is very common and useful. It is not harmful, not dangerous. Okay, and it can measure the wide range of temperature. There is no limit of temperature. Okay, that digital thermometer can, and we don't have to see the mercury level there, just digital numbers come there, and easily we can see the temperature. Other is to measure the temperature of 24 hours. We need to use maximum and minimum thermometer. Maximum and minimum thermometer, weather temperature, okay, to measure the temperature of environment within 24 hours. We use maximum and minimum thermometer that has the two columns, okay, that is given in the back of your page, okay. We'll discuss in detail. Look at there, clinical thermometer. A clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of human body. Okay, you read. Okay, you have to read there. Read now this paragraph. Read. I'll justify later then. Rewards. Read that line. Page number 73, clinical thermometer. Read. It's unmute your speaker. Rewards. And other also. Other also continue reading. And rewards, read by making your unmute. Yes.
The clinical thermometer.
Yeah.
A clinical thermometer is used to measure the temperature of human body. It is also called a daddy thermometer and doctor's thermometer. It is smaller in size and it has less range of scale, that is 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius or 94 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit compared to other thermometer. It may be oral,
Armpit,
rectal, or ear type. It may be mercury or digital. You will study separately about digital thermometer. The structure of a chemical thermometer shows a ball filled with mercury at its one end and a glass stem. The bulb has a thin wall, while the prismatic stem has a thick wall.
prisma like, okay. Prisma like means prismatic. You know prisma
Prismatic
in mathematics. Yes, that prismatic.
Prismatic stem has a thick wall with very fine bore called capillary. The capillary has a bent, narrow part above the bulb which is called construction. It blocks the backflow of the raised mercury level. The stem is calibrated with space.
Steam is calibrated. Calibrated means provided with scales, measuring scales, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree, okay. Such measuring scales are arranged there. That is called calibration. That process is calibration, and so that prismatic wall is calibrated. Understood? Calibrated means, yeah. Then
When the bulb is kept in contact with the body for 1 to 2 minutes, the mercury in the bulb expands and raises up in the capillary. The scale at the mercury level in the capillary shows temperature. For further use of the temperature,
thermometer for the use of the thermometer, it is jerked.
it is
Jerk means
to
sect. Jerk means sect गर्ने यसरी यस्तो झड्का jerking, okay, like this. Yeah,
set the mercury level below the normal body temperature.
yes, so that we can use that thermometer next time. Look at it. I'll show here with the diagram. This is the clinical thermometer. You see here this clinical thermometer. Clinical thermometer has a mercury bulb Okay, this is the bulb of mercury. Fill it with this black. Okay, this is the bulb of mercury. Bulb of mercury means that is a small bulb that contains mercury only. Mercury is found in liquid state at room temperature. Okay, mercury is found at the in the liquid state at room temperatures. Here is mercury bulb. Mercury is collected there, and there is one small capillary, capillary tube, small capillary. That is small capillary tube. Can you see here? This is capillary. Okay, this is capillary. Okay, that capillary tube is made up of glass and which has fine hole in the middle. Okay, that glass has the fine hole, very narrow hole in the middle. That tube is called capillary tube. Understood? What is called that? Capillary tube. That capillary tube is fitted with the mercury bulb so that mercury can rise through the capillary. Mercury can pass through the capillary. यो क्यापिलरीबाट मर्करी राइज हुन सक्छ, आउन सक्छ यता. But interesting thing here is that in case of this clinical thermometer, one thing is different from the laboratory thermometer. That is, it has this clinical thermometer has narrow constriction. Constriction. Narrow constriction. You know this constriction? Constriction means furrowing. Furrowing. Okay, काटिएको. Narrow neck. Narrow neck. Okay, narrow neck, or we call that constriction. Okay, this narrow neck or constriction is made near the bulb. Near the bulb, I am making here now. Near the bulb, here is twisted capillary tube. Capillary tube is twisted, making narrow constriction. This is important. You could important. This is important. Here is narrow constriction. Have you seen there? There is very narrow constriction, twisted capillary. It has significant role in functioning the while measuring the temperature. So next thing is that this is prismatic glass wall. Okay, it is covered with the prismatic glass wall. That prisma-like glass wall, that prismatic glass wall is calibrated with the temperature scale. Okay, calibrated with the temperature scale. In one side, degree Celsius is okay. Temperature scale is calibrated as the degree Celsius, and in next size of the prismatic scale, prismatic wall, the temperature scale is calibrated in terms of degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so we can see in terms of degree Celsius and in terms of degree Fahrenheit. Okay, and then interesting thing is that its temperature ranges from, it can only measure the temperature from, okay, temperature range is from what? 35 degree Celsius to what? 42 degree Celsius. Its temperature ranges from 35 to 42 degree Celsius. In terms of degree Celsius, in Celsius scale, it can measure the temperature only from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Ronisa Karki, what you are doing? Lower your camera, okay, and tell me what is the range of temperature in degrees Celsius that can be taken by clinical thermometer. Ronisa.
Yes, sir.
I ask question. Answer me.
42 degrees Celsius to 94 degrees Celsius.
42 to 94. What is that? See their line in your book. यसरी पढिदैन नानी. मैले भनिराखेको छु, बताइराखेको छु. बुकमा छ, त्यही कुरा रिपिटेडली लेखिराखेको छु यहाँ. के गर्न खोजेको? कसको लागि पढ्ने हो? मेरो लागि हो? होइन नि, तपाईको लागि हो नि. I am doing for you. So give time. Time दिनुस्, ध्यान दिनुस्. Then you can do it. Okay, or in case of degree Fahrenheit, it can measure the temperature from 94 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. 8 degree Fahrenheit. 108 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, this is degree Fahrenheit. F, degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so next thing is that, look at here. Sometimes we say, okay, the when we measure the body temperature, we say what is the temperature? 104, 105, 105 degree ज्वरो आयो, 104 degree ज्वरो भन्छ नि. What is that? तर कन्फ्युजन कहाँ आउँछ भने 100 degree मा वाटर बोइल हुन्छ. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. But our body temperature is 104 degree during fever. What is that? What's that confusion? के हो त्यो भन्ने हामीलाई लाग्छ. Don't be confused. Only the temperature is taken in the different scale. हाम्रो बडीको टेम्परेचर मेजर गर्दाखेरि 104 डिग्री भनेको डिग्री फरेनहाइटमा हो, not in degree Celsius. डिग्री सेल्सियसमा त वाटर बोइल्स हुन्छ. 104 पुग्यो भने त हाम्रो बडी बोइल्स हुन्छ in degree Celsiusमा. So that is in terms of what केमा? Fahrenheit मा. तर डिग्री सेल्सियसमा कति हुन्छ त त्यो भनेको यो 35 to 42 को रेन्जमा हुन्छ डिग्री सेल्सियसमा. एन्ड डिग्री फरेनहाइटमा 94 to 108 को रेन्जमा हुन्छ. It is specially designed to make the body temperature of human body temperature को रेन्ज भएको हुनाले narrow range छ, not broader range. Okay, it can measure only 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. Then I'll ask you, one of you, Anjani Kumar.
Yes, sir.
What is the temperature of boiling water?
Boiling water temperature?
Yeah.
100 degrees Celsius.
100 degrees Celsius, good. Then can you use clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of boiling water?
Yes.
Can you use the temperature of boiling water? Can you use clinical thermometer to measure?
No.
Why?
It is used to measure body temperature.
Body temperature, that's fine. Body temperature measure गरे पनि त पानीको पनि त यसले टेम्परेचर त मेजर गर्न मिल्यो नि. बोइलिङ वाटरको टेम्परेचर मेजर गर्नलाई यो क्लिनिकल थर्मोमिटर युज गर्न मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन? Yunisha. Okay, not Yunisha. Okay, Samir. I'll come back with Yunisha. Samir, बुझ्नु भयो मैले भनेको?
बुझे सर.
ल भन्नुस् आन्सर.
सर क्वेशन भन्नु.
Can you use clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of boiling water?
No sir.
Okay. No, why? भन्नुस् त किन सकिँदैन? सिद्धार्थ Manik?
Yes, sir.
Manik?
Yes sir, because
It can only measure up to 42 degrees Celsius.
Yes, clinical thermometer can only measure maximum temperature up to 42 degrees Celsius, but the temperature of boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius. Then what happens if we use this? If you thermometer use गर्यो boiling water मा डुबायो भने what happens? Unisa. What happens? Yeah? Maria, what happens when we use clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of boiling water? Rosani Silwal, what happens?
It will expand.
It will expand. Thermometer will expand.
But
Becomes longer and longer.
no, sir,
Sugam?
it will be
Yes, yes. It will be
explode.
explode. Right, good. Okay, will be destroyed. Because that mercury tries to expand more, but capillary tries to control. So in that conflict, that whole system, घर भत्किन्छ हैन घर भत्किन्छ मीन्स घर भत्किने गरी फुट्ने भनेको हैन यो प्रिज्मको घर भत्किन्छ के the glass wall cracks and so the mercury comes out and mercury is very dangerous, poisonous. Okay, so त्यो भइहाल्यो. And narrow, here is narrow. Okay, how does it work? Okay, look at here, we don't have more time. How does it work? कसरी काम गर्छ हेर्नुस् है. I will show here. When this mercury bulb is placed in the hot body or made contact with the hot body, then that mercury receives the heat. Yeah, mercury receives the heat. And remember the principle of thermometer. What is the principle of thermometer? Sugam Sai, what is the principle of thermometer?
When heat is increased, mercury expands.
Mercury expands or everybody expands. Okay, so when it receives the heat, it expands. Mercury expands. Expand भएपछि कहाँ जान्छ? कहाँ चाहिँ जान्छ हेर्नुस् त? The mercury expands means the mercury level rises in the capillary tube. In the capillary tube, the mercury level rises. Okay, यसरी mercury माथि आउँछ, right? And then we can measure the temperature. यसको corresponding मा कति छ यहाँ temperature? For example, here यहाँको calibrated कति छ? This is the temperature of that body. In this way we can measure. And another, for the second time use, we need to jerk this. Jerk means हल्लाउने, यसरी झड्का दिने. We need to jerk this clinical thermometer to set the mercury level below the range of human body temperature, because that constriction made here blocks the mercury. यो constriction छ नि, यसले माथि आएको mercuryलाई रोक्छ, आफै झर्दैन. यसलाई तल झार्नको लागि हामीले झड्का दिनुपर्छ अनि मात्रै तल झर्छ. फेरि अर्को पेशेन्टलाई युज गरेपछि फेरि mercury level राइज हुन्छ. बाहिर निकालेर हेर्न सकिन्छ हामीले. Okay, in this way it can be used. Okay, so read this paragraph and you can understand yourself. And it works on the principle of thermometer, that mercury expands on heating and contraction cooling. Another is laboratory thermometer. Laboratory thermometer is used, also called the simple thermometer. Okay, clinical thermometer is called daddy thermometer. It is used by daddy to measure the temperature of baby. हैन, घरमा बेबी बिराम हुनु भने ड्याडीले टेम्परेचर मेजर गर्नुहुन्छ. अथवा it is also called doctor's thermometer because it is used by doctor to measure the temperature of patient. Nurse thermometer भनेको पनि nurse ले use गर्नुहुन्छ. But these are informal words. Okay, actually it is clinical thermometer used in clinics. Other laboratory thermometer, it is called simple thermometer. It is quite similar to the clinical thermometer. Its function is similar to the clinical thermometer, but the difference is temperature range and structure. It is used to measure the temperature of the materials. Usually it is longer than the clinical thermometer, and it has more range of scale. Usually minus, make that minus. There is 10 degrees Celsius, that is not 10 degrees Celsius, that is minus 10. Write on that minus in your book. It has the wide range of temperature scale, usually of minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, minus 10 degree to 110 degrees Celsius. To measure the temperature of any substance, the bulb of the thermometer is kept in contact with the substance, and changing the temperature brings the expansion or contraction of the mercury in the capillary tube. And so if there is the contraction, the mercury level falls. If there is the expansion, mercury level rises, and we can measure the temperature. In this way we can use the laboratory thermometer. And other thing is that in laboratory thermometer there is no constriction made. Look at there in figure also, there is no constriction. But in clinical thermometer there is constriction near the neck, but near the bulb. But there is no constriction in the capillary near the bulb. Okay, in laboratory thermometer. So finished. We don't have more time. Also, we have 2 minutes. Okay, in this way we can compare that clinical thermometer with the laboratory thermometer, and write on there one question that write differences between clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. 3 differences. Find out yourself. Assignment.